see myself going live. We are live on YouTube. So I am Dory with Prairie Scraps, and it is Thrifty Thursday. And I got this stool at a thrift store. I have since done a job to it already because and my daughter actually found it. She's like, it was $3. She's like, you need to buy this. And I was like, oh, $3 is, it's kind of a small piece of furniture for $3. I like big tables for $3. But anyway, she's like, oh, it's so cute. It needs a new home. It needs to be redone. So it was like kind of a pale yellow, paler than my table here in the camper. If you can see that yellow, I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty bright yellow. The camper is. But this was very pale yellow, almost like an off-white or maybe a faded white. And then somebody had made like a yellowish, like a bright yellow and red or rose in outlined with Sharpie. So somebody had more patience than I did. They'd even signed on the bottom when they had done it. And so anyway, I took our Waverly chalk color in ink. They call it a chalk, I think, because it kind of goes on like chalk and kind of covers everything up and is a flat surface, and it's a flat paint, but it is acrylic. So just so you know, it's permanent. So if you start getting it on things, it's a mess. You could permanently color things. So, and today, because I'm doing some painting, I did get my piece of cardboard out because I don't want to mess up. So I was thinking I wasn't going to, maybe I'll do it. We'll see. We're going to use regular glue, the glue technique to do this. And I'm going to use an old brush. I don't want to use one of my good ones. Oh, and I got an order, you guys. I actually had some things. I'm just going to pour this out. So we're just going to put this glue on. And I think what I did wrong before was I tried to dry it. And it seemed to me like drying was not the thing. You just want to put it on in the whatever direction you want your crackling to go, all the same direction is what I've seen. So we're going to see how this goes. So we're not going to let this completely dry. This is some thick glue. This is cheap glue, when Staples or the paper, the different paper places, all the office supply stores put their glue at the fall. They put it on sale for 10 cents a bottle. That's when I stock up. And I usually make my own Mod Podge. Did you know that you can make your own Mod Podge by using school glue and putting half and half water with it? That is the recipe. And so you don't have to buy the expensive Mod Podge. You can you can make a mess like I do. And I'm going to go around the edge. What do you think about the legs? If you're watching, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to do the bottom, but you could use this. It looked like it had some watermarks on it. It looks like it had been used for a plant stand. You could use it for a little riser in your decor on the mantle, whatever. And you might have guessed it, but I'm going to be using this for bridal shower decor because we're doing 10 tiered trays for the middle of, I'm just kind of getting this all over. I'm not doing a neat job. I actually painted neater than this. So I'm just putting this on. I don't really mind if the legs don't turn out but I really would like the top to turn out. So that is my goal. Maybe not that much. So I'm just going to do the legs here all, in nice strokes, hopefully. And in the meantime, I think my top will dry a little bit, but you leave it wet and then you paint over that. That's what everybody does. I don't know. I don't understand it. Apparently, this is the big secret, right? The ancient Chinese secret in the crackle medium is that it's just glue. Isn't that just seems like a terrible false advertisement? All these years we've thought crackle medium was something special. I don't know. They probably have some secret thing in it that makes it go better. Because like I said, my little crackle paint experiences have not gone quite as good as I would expect. These are, the legs are a little bit drier than the top. So I don't know. I don't know if that means I'll have bigger crackle. When this comes out, it comes out. So Lydia was doing an art project. She has an art book, and as long as she picks an art project each week to work on, that's what we try to do for art class. She's very artsy and craftsy, and you guys know, you've seen her here. She does all kinds of things. So for homeschool. So I wanted her to try to reach out and do some new things. So I got her a really cute, like kids art, more sophisticated. It's not like a little kids one, but a kid's art book. Voila. Ooh, I don't want bubbles. I'm just going to go over this a little bit because I don't want it, because when I went around the edge, I got kind of a lip around it, and I don't want that on it at all. It is getting kind of pretty tacky. Whoops. Pretty tacky here. And then we're going to paint right over this. So there it is. I think I don't want a leg that doesn't look right. I do like the black. The black looked really sharp. I tell you what, more I paint things black, I'm kind of liking it. Like I've been contemplating my end tables and my coffee table in my house and doing those, painting the bottom. And I've always thought I would paint them white, but now I'm thinking maybe I'd paint them black. I don't know. I don't know if this pooled part is going to be too wet. I might start by doing a leg. And oops, that's clear wax. That would not be good. I'm going to use the Waverly White. I actually think you can use chalk paint if you want, but I've also seen people use the acrylic paint for this. So that's what we're going to use. Oops, I see when you use a cheap brush, you sometimes get the bristles on things. That's why you should use good brushes, but I didn't want to put it in the glue. So anyway, her project this week was she was adding glue to the paint. So she had the glue out. So that's what made me think about doing the crackle paint. Again, I'm just glutton maybe. It's kind of got a weird texture. I won't lie to you. Kind of got a weird. So she had to add glue to her paint for her base coat on her art project. She was doing bread, dried bread. Oops, I got a piece of black on there. All right, we'll see if that starts to go. I don't know. I guess it's okay. I mean, that's what ended up happening the last time I tried, was I just went back with sandpaper and kind of made it come through, made the black come through. So that's, or the undercolor. I think I did brown. See how messy I can get here. I already stuck my hand into it. It is pretty sticky to paint on, I'm not going to lie. Pretty sticky. And somebody had already, like when I went to go paint this, somebody had already really, now if it's starting to crackle, it's going to be hard to tell. If you remember, I would love to hear from anybody if you remember them using crackle medium so much in the 90s. Was that a thing? Was I the only one? I don't know why. I vaguely, well, I do still have the dresser that has the crackle on the front. I should get that out someday and take a picture. So my husband was offering up because my son, he's not actually, that went to college this year, Levi. He's not coming back for the summer. So I feel bad. Um, kids out of their rooms, right? When they go to college, I want them to feel like they can come home, but he is not coming home this summer. So I don't know if it just needs thicker. Maybe I need to quit fussing over it, huh? I'm going to go around the outside edge. So he's definitely not coming home. So he was like, do you want to move into the extra bedroom upstairs? Because the girls are still sharing. They've got a very large room. In fact, they've got a double bunk bed with the big stairs with the dresser in it. And it's still lots of room in that room. In fact, we had 5 beds in there when we had some foster kids. And so anyway, it was a little tight because we had to have dressers there too. See how this works. But anyway, so it's a very large room. It's actually as large or a little larger than our master bedroom downstairs, right below it. So anyway, we've kind of, and the girls don't clean their rooms. So we're like, we're not giving you each your own room. That's ridiculous. But I'm thinking about doing it for the summer because we're thinking about doing some exchange students through 4-H for a month this summer, and it would be easier if we had them split up. So that was my thought. But my husband was offering it up. Then you could have a craft room upstairs, and it would be in the house, and it would be warmer. I'm like, I like my little camper. I'm like having anxiety. Ooh, it's going. I'm just making sure there's no dribbles, like kind of looking around. It's happening. What do you think? All right, I'm going to set that aside. Get some of this paint off of me before I put it on my nice shirt, my sarcasm shirt. So if you're coming on, make sure you say hello. If this is your first time watching, put 1 ST. If you're watching on the replay, that's okay. I get it. Everybody's busy and times aren't the same. It is 4 p.m. in Pacific time right now. I'd love to hear from you. So, just chatting with me, answering questions, whatever, asking questions. Those kinds of things really help me out. I don't know why this automatically goes to only the top ones. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe and do all those kinds of things. So lots of exciting things going on while we're kind of waiting for this to drying it. Hopefully we won't get too hot in here. Holy cow. It's so nice outside. There's a little bit of a cold wind. Let's see. Put this down a little bit so you can see. Ooh, it's working. It's working. That was it. Put glue on and leave the glue wet. That was the crackle media. That was how to do it. I think last time, because I'd watched somebody do it and they had kind of dried it a little before. I maybe dried it too far. So this was like sopping wet. I'm loving it. The idea, I think, is to make it look like, sort of a farmhouse chippy paint. And this would be so cute as a riser, wouldn't it? Or a little plant stand or whatever. Tell me how you'd use it in your house if you had this. Well, and I even think like the chippy paint would go, oops, just wiped off some. The chippy paint would go really nice, even if you weren't like farmhouse. I think there's a lot of different styles that you could use this with. Maybe it's just me. I'm so old. I remember the last time that freckle paint was a popular thing. Okay. But we had a flash sale, if you didn't catch that, and I don't know how long some things were running out already. 50% off A-size transfers. That's the 5x7 size. And we had 3 different surfaces that were $13 each. That's such a cheap price. And there are really good quality pedestal ones. I was going to bring some out here and I forgot. Guys, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think it's looking good. What do you guys think? I'm pretty excited. It's looking good. See a little dribble on the bottom side here. I don't know if it's dry where it's not shiny. It's kind of got a shiny sheen to it. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. I'm really excited. I'm excited. This looks really amazing. I figured it out. I've studied it long enough, I guess. And I would say I didn't do enough glue on the legs, maybe. The glue was too dry. Oops. I just put the dryer right in there. Oh, but some of it's doing it, I think. I'm not as worried about the legs. I don't think you have to like dry it faster to get it to crackle more. I think it'll, but I'm trying to dry it along because I want to do something to the top. I'm not done yet. There's more. So anyway, you could do a whole project, a really beautiful project, pretty decor item for around $20. Add your chalk paste. If you need help picking out a project, let me know. But all you have to do is pick one of those $13 surfaces and then add in one of your A-size transfers. That makes them $5.50 each, which is really great deal. They even have a comparable sale for designers. So if you're a designer, we already get 40% off as designers. That's what I love about it. I love getting my craft supplies all the time, 40% off. I don't have to worry about, getting sales. But when sales come, oh, shoot. Are you walking down to Dad? Sorry. This is worth a try. Look, I got it.
That looks really good.
You see it?
I love it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Crackle paint. I'm pretty excited. There's excitement in the camper right now. Tell Lydia to go watch my video. I need people on it. On Facebook. See if we can get somebody on there. I don't know what. It seems like nobody's around. I'm being blocked. So Thrifty Thursday, this is a $3 project. We found this at the local thrift store. Our thrift store is only open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Kind of dumb. Wish they were open every day. But I guess I shouldn't say anything. The other days, they have their volunteers come in and work, and they put up everything. I really like this, you guys. There's a little goober there. And I think you could go in, if you were using chalk paste for the top coat, you could go in and use a wet rag to get it to, come off. But this looks so nice. I'm really excited. Oops, that was too heavy. Haha. I just like wiped it off. Just want to make sure it's nice and dry up here. I'm just going to kind of leave those legs go on their own. I can either go back with if I see a little drippy, I'm kind of taking that off. I'll show you this other side. I just took the wipe and kind of took off. There was like a high edge there. It doesn't look as natural. It's just leaving it alone, but it'll work. I just didn't want to, when you brush on, sometimes it gets drippy, and it looks like a higher edge. I'm being a perfectionist is what I'm being. All right. Isn't that pretty? Now, what color? I want to chalk something on here. And I was thinking about doing the sunflower on here. But then I just ran across the bumblebee. And I was thinking, geez, look at this middle section. Isn't that beautiful? That bumblebee with the leaves on it and the crown. Wouldn't that be, it's like the perfect size right there. Isn't that? I think that would be perfect. But our theme is sunflowers. Would that matter? It's yellow. I might do it. You guys. All right, I'm thinking about that. That's possibility number 1. And then possibility number 2, actually my number 1 thought was, I do have a nice big bee there too. Okay. Possibility number 2 was to use the etched sunflower on there. And I wanted to put a bee with it. Like a bee, and so maybe this one on this side, and then put a bee on the other side. So that was my other possibility. And we have these really beautiful etched, what's this one called? Peaceful Garden. This really beautiful one of these bees going on it right over here. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I think it would be really cute. So I thought about doing that. What do you think? Should I do more of an etched thing? I don't know. I'd love it if somebody would come on and tell me what to do. Somebody tell me. I'm trying to figure out why. So the legs are like this is totally dry because I dried it, right? It's pretty dry. It's not coming off at all when I touch it. No, that's not it. Where am I? I don't know. Where is everybody? I'm starting to think that 4 o'clock is not a good time because I'm just getting nobody. Because I put it out there and I even sent messages to people. Let you know, if you are not on my text, just put text down below and I will tell you about it. I'm kind of hoping somebody will come in, tell me what to do. Should I do a sunflower or should I do this bee with the crown on it? I don't know. Sunflower is the theme for the wedding that we're using it for, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay there. It's probably going to, I just think this is so cute. So cute. Try not to touch too many places. So if you have not, so put text if you want to get text reminders for these lives or other sales and things when they go on. This is this month's club transfer. It's called Farm Fresh. And our transfers you can reuse like 8 to 12 times. And if you are not already in my club, put club down below and I will get you the information about that. So much fun to get a craft project in the mail every single week. That's this month, so not much longer that you can get that. And next month's is pretty exciting. It's gasoline. It's male oriented. I mean, women can have gasoline too. It's cute. I've got some ideas for that, especially for Thrifty Thursday, if I can get to it. I got some digging to do, folks. I think I might. Let's see how this. I'm afraid to, I want to use wax on here. I don't think it'll come off, but I'm really afraid of like the rest of the transfer. So I think I'm going to use some surface wax. It's such a bumpy little surface. And I see like, ooh, that takes it off nicer. I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Gonna have to go on the underside maybe and do that a little bit. I'm not gonna do I'm just gonna touch it up with black. Just want the legs to look a little more chippy, I think. I'm liking it, you guys. I am just going to wax the top because I'm a little afraid that it won't get dry, like because there were so many layers and it was done wet and I don't want it to. So I'm just going to use a really light coat of our surface wax just to bring out the color. You could also put in like an antique wax or, do a little bit of a rub of our bark chalk paste, but I'm going to do white here. So I think it'll be pretty. And this will also give it a nice, like a little bit, like seal it up, give it a little bit more firm, close, kind of more of a flat surface. Although the top surface wasn't perfect. It just wasn't perfect. It was, I sanded it down. There was like purple, there was blue, there was yellow, there was all kinds of colors on it. So, you just never know what you're going to get when you use old pieces of furniture. Just never know. And this is kind of a fun one. Like anybody could do this, right? You could do this right at your kitchen table. You don't need a fancy camper to go to, but it's kind of fun. All right, this is our etched sunflower, and this is still available. And it is, I think, a really sweet. I love it. I'm going to do, I think we're going to do some color here. All right. I'm going to do some color. If you don't like sunflowers, there's also this one where I'm going to take the bee from. And this one's got the hummingbird and the bees, and it's got a dahlia and some pansies there. So there's other options for flowers. If you're specific about your flowers, like I know not everybody is, but I really do enjoy being able to have authentic looking flowers. Is that bark? No bark. Now you could like do the outline, color it in, and then come back and do the outline again in black so it has more of an outline, or brown, or whatever color you want. You could do a multi-layer. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, first I'm going to start with just the leaves down here. And I'm going to use some olive. Oops, we're getting Waverly paint everywhere. And this is our olive shimmer. So it's got like the glitter right in there. And I'm just going to use one of our mini squeegees and kind of go on this. Like I said, the outsides and the legs aren't completely dry. So we're just going to work on this real quick, see how this goes. I'm going to peel it back. After I do this olive color, because I want to make sure that it gets a chance, it doesn't dry up in the transfer. Now we've already used this. I don't know if you could see that right there. See that? We made a Mr. and Mrs. sign, either for the chairs or for a table or something. We haven't put holes in it yet. We haven't totally decided what we're doing with it for decorations. But my future daughter-in-law came over and made that because she was excited. And she did lots of detail. I'm not going to be that detailed. Let's just say that. We're trying to do a project quickly, right? All right. Now I'm going to peel that back so you can, hopefully this will, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Peel that back, and can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? It's kind of, you know, faint, but it's got a little shimmer in it. I love that color. All right, I'm just going to leave it sit there and try not to knock it over because I want to save that place. Save that place. I don't want it to come off. And I know next I need, and when my daughter-in-law did, or my future daughter-in-law, shouldn't get too jumpy on that one yet. Hasn't happened yet, but when my future daughter-in-law did that, she did multi-layers. She laid down the first color, then colored it in, and we washed the transfer and then went back again and redid the lines again over the top. So that was kind of a multifaceted project for us. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lay that back down, and I'm just gonna make sure it's pressed down on the leaves. And I think this is probably not what I want to use. This is going to be the bark, and I'm going to do this in the center. And I think I'm going to use one of our tools for it. And this, I'm going to try to work really fast on it. Whoops, I kind of went messy. And that's okay. We're going to do a little bit of a wash, and I think it'll be just fine. Just want to get this on here. There we go. Put anything you don't use back in the jar because it totally can be used again. And then we're going to go ahead and use, this is Harvest Shimmer. And that brown was bark. And I'm going to go super quickly around the outside edges. This has the shimmer in it again. The bark does not. If that concerns you, shimmer, no shimmer, then you can certainly add glitter. If you've been around here at all, you know I'm not a glitter person, so I won't be doing that. If it's in the paste, I love it because then I don't have to do anything, right? We're just going to pull out from the inside. I'm not going all the way to that bark color because I want to kind of blend it in the middle there. I'm going to use a little wet finger to do that. Just do some blending. It's not an exact science because it's going to turn out so beautifully without me having to do a whole lot, right? Because it's such great detail in these etched, all these etched ones. I'm really loving them. All right, I'm going to get my finger wet. And I'm just going around the outside edges, getting it wet. Please don't dry on me. There we go. A little bit more water. Just trying to blend it in so that it doesn't look, you know, like I put a brown circle in the middle. Maybe don't spray over the stool, right? Oh, come on. You don't want that middle part to dry up either. So we want that to be, you want to fill all the spots, kind of press it in, blend it in, and then not let it dry. That's the other part of it. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go slow in case I miss something. But it's looking good. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. So beautiful, isn't it? It's kind of like not in your face, but beautiful. All right, I'm going to put this right back on. Just take this to the sink and wash in warm water with our board eraser, and that will be good to go. And then I'm going to get this. Oh, I think I want to get the bee out here too. I don't even know if I have it cut. They come with the cut lines on the transfer. And I usually like to leave them on the transfer because it's kind of like a puzzle piece. Then I know if something's missing. It's nothing worse than like losing one piece of a flower or something. Okay. And you could even cut these bees apart if you were concerned about getting them in the right place. I'm trying to decide, where are they yellow? Right? Where are they yellow? I'm going to have to dry that first. These new, I want to have this dry. I think that's very pretty. And because there's such small etched lines on there, it actually, the glitter part of it is very faint. Like it's just a dabble of it. You can hardly see it, but you can see it. You know, it's like just a faint bit of little glittery stuff there. And I think by not painting in the leaves and things, I think it's just going to make it that much more just subtle, you know, not the main focal point or all the focal point on there. All right. I'm going to try this. I was trying to find a piece of backing. I'm going to go bumblebee on here. How do bumblebees? They have black. I don't know. Where are they yellow? You want to have like yellow and black spots, right? So I'm going to wipe off this, and I better find my black before or should I do brown? Maybe I'll do brown. Nah, I don't know. Make up my mind, right? Hello, how are you doing? Oh yes, we have a beautiful day too. Did you guys have snow yesterday? I'm getting warm, in fact. I've got the windows open a little bit. I cracked the windows. And there's some black. I might do some black shimmer. Okay. What are we going to do with this little bee? You guys know I'm not very good at I think I might just do the body part in this harvest shimmer harvest. And then, I don't know. How does he look? Trying to decide. Should I do the rest of it in black or do brown? I think I might use brown. Oh, no snow. Good. Somebody was telling me they had snow yesterday. I can't remember who it was. Okay, we're going to shut that. I'm getting warm. We're going to do the rest in brown, I think. Even though bees are generally, they can be a black, right? Just getting one of these bees. I kind of just want it to go. I don't want it to look like obvious. Like I'm afraid the black will look a little stark. I could always go over it in black if I want to later after I wash it off and everything. I think it'll be pretty. Then we're gonna use a little bit of what? Whoops, that got really. I hope that didn't. I'm gonna dab that so it doesn't. Hopefully it didn't. That doesn't make me happy. I maybe just wrecked it because I put too much water on there. It might have bled. It didn't, you guys. It turned out really good. But I do have to say, I probably should have done black. So take my lesson and do your bees in black. Do your bees in black. All right, there it is. Can you see it? It's very faint. But that's what I want. Subtle. Because this is just going to be like a little bee on a platform. And I could, because I dropped that on down there. I could actually go through, I could take it off and redo a bee if I wanted. Or go back over it in black. That I could do too, if I'm not happy with it. Because black could certainly go, because black is my undercoat. Oh boy, making a mess. I do see a little bit of the wing here. Got smeared. I don't know. I might. I'm thinking about going over it with black just to bring it out. Because I think I think I might do that. I'm going to just go ahead and get a brush. And funny thing, I just bought the Chalk Couture brushes finally. I'm just using that gold color. And I am going to fill in this middle part of the bee is what I'm going to do. So it's going to kind of take off. Whoops. And shimmer is a little bit more difficult to get spread out. It doesn't paint as well as our regular chalks. So it might take a little extra oomph to get it to go here. But anyway, I'm just going to fill in the body, and it's just kind of like, this is no exact thing. I'm not being exact here. Just trying to get some of that shimmer on there in the body portion, and then I'm going to go back over it with black so it sticks out more. See if we can get it dried up here. I'm going to go on easy air, not spread it, because it's pretty wet. So I'm just kind of coloring it in. Drying very slow. I'm not patient enough for that today. And this is the same technique you could do with the just going to lay this down here and wash it. You could do the same technique with the sunflower as well. Paint in and that's what we did back there to get the solid look on it. I'm just going to make sure I get off any of the bottom side here. I don't want the brown and the gold on there. So I'm just going to wash it off real quickly here so I can try to redo it in black. If I was in the house, I would just go ahead and run it under the water, wash it off, put it on a towel to dry, I'm just going to set this upside down, let that dry for a hot minute. Today's a messy day, but that's okay. That's what crafting is all about, right? Sometimes you have to be a little bit creative to get it to go the way you want it to go. Let's see if we can get some more. Going a little thicker this time. And it's sort of like preschool scribbling here. I'm not doing anything super fancy to get this in. I'm just coloring in the middle portion. I want it filled in with the gold. Harvest Shimmer, that's the color. And it's a little on the, dropping bark. A little on the dark side. I dropped my black actually. Oops. Don't touch it while it's wet. And I'm going to relay it down on top. So we already did it once. There's brown in there. And I tried to make the yellow and the bee yellow and brown. And now I just filled it all in with the Harvest Shimmer with a brush. Oh my goodness, my leg. I'm tense today. So you'll have to watch from the start because I did this whole stool. I did the crackle finish on it. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. You could use this for a little stool or a riser in your decor or put a little plant on it. Anything, really. I'm trying to get a little bee. I was inspired to put a bee on here, and the bee doesn't look like a bee in brown and yellow. Take my advice. I know there's, like, I guess brown and yellow ones are more like a wasp. Maybe that's why I don't think it looks like it. What do you think? Can bees be brown and white? Where are we going? Brown and yellow? Or should they be black and yellow? All right. I'm going to lay this back down and we're going to do some black on it. Let's see. The nice thing about these transfers, this is one of the new transfers that just came out. Pretty excited when it came out, but it is so much more see-through. So I'm just laying it right back down on top in the exact spot that I did before. And we are going to do black over the top. So even if you make a mistake, sometimes you don't even have to erase it. You can just go back over it with a different color. And that will fix it for sure. All right, get that down there. This one, that one doesn't even look like it's clean. That's interesting. Sometimes we have kids helping. Sometimes because they're doing their own projects, right? So there's a spring flash sale. Make sure you check that out. If you haven't joined my club, put club down below. If you want, let's put flash down below and I'll get you a link for that flash sale right directly to my shop. And of course, you know, I'm a small business owner, so that helps me out a ton. All right, here it is. We'll see. Oh, I like it. Much better. Oops, I was off a little bit in the wings. I think that's okay. What do you think? Is it too dark? Might be a little, I don't know, it's a little stark. There must be something between black and brown. I don't know. I kind of like it. He's kind of cute. He's got a little bit brown on his wings. We'll see. I'll probably leave him. Thought it would be fun to put him on there. Maybe he's not my favorite. Maybe putting it, I don't know. You could do it any way you want. So you can definitely learn from me. It's cute, I think, for sure. I guess I could have done like the greens down the edge even, but I think it's really cute and we will just use this for the wedding and I may come back and who knows, maybe taking a little do you see it? I could also color in maybe I'll take because I think the brown in the middle is so much darker than the yellow on the outside. And actually that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take another I'm gonna take Bumblebee, I think. Maybe. I don't know. This one's a little softer. I'll water this down and I'll put this on. I think I'm gonna paint really carefully on the flower leaves a little bit, not a ton. Maybe that'll just bring out the flower a little bit because you know my that wasn't even a lot. That was too much. Going back to the hey Sherry, good to see you. So glad you joined us. We're redoing a just not getting the right consistency here. Oh, I did put some water in there, didn't I? The shimmers are a little bit like thicker, but I love this color. Just want to go a little bit. I don't want it to be super strong in color, but I think those leaves of the sunflower are just not enough in especially with white as a background. I think it would be different if it wasn't. I don't know, and I'm not a painter, so I always feel not so confident about this part of it, but it's sort of like what do you guys think? It's just giving it a little bit more color, I think, on the leaves. This is the Harvest Shimmer. Just gonna brush it on. I don't know. Because I'm not a painter, I never know if I'm going too far or what. I wish I was more of an artist. I guess I kind of am, but painting is definitely not my medium. I love to do chalk paste on the transfers for that reason because it makes me look like I'm really fancy. I'm not really. I'm just trying to do the inside and not so much the outside of the petal. Just kind of bring it out a little bit. I don't know. Take any suggestions if you know how to. As long as I improved it, right? Because this was a thrifted one and it had roses in Sharpie. Mine's actually, I think the person who did that was like really worked hard on it because it's not easy to like do a Sharpie outline. It's a lot of work. I'm not that patient usually. All right, what do you think? Is that better? Should I paint the whole thing in? Maybe. It's working a little better. I don't know. Trying not to take off the lines because I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go over the top again. I'm the lazy crafter. That should be my name, not Prairie Scraps. But I am using the scraps of my life here. So I'm Dory Joe on Facebook. And by the way, if you haven't friended me, please do so. Reach out. Love to hear from people. Keeps me going. And of course, it's helping just to like it and share it, say hello. Do you guys like to paint? Mom, I know your mom used to do painting. I have her painting in my living room, actually. Tell you what, Brooke was quite a painter. She was very patient with doing this. She spent a long time trying to figure out where my husband went. What did he say he was going to do? I know he probably told me, but I forgot. Do you guys ever do that? Like, forget what people say they're going to do? Especially my husband. Sometimes I blend it all in to everything else. Oops, I think it's too thick there. Can I get it off? I could see kind of like a gob of the paste right there, and I don't want it to look like I gobbed it on. I just want it to look more like a watercolor in there. I'm trying to paint, watercolor each, oops, that was a lot. Sorry. Put that back in. Use that later. I got kind of a glob there. I actually like it better all the way out. So if the lines of the flowers get kind of blurry, I'll go back in and I'll just, I'll wash the transfer and then do the outline again so that we can see it. Because that's the nice thing about the etched is that it's truly very detailed. And that's what you want. Is that detail. So I don't want to lose the detail because I've like gone through with a brush, but it may very much need another coat of it, which is fine. It's just, being lazy. We're almost all the way around. And I could see where I was like lighter handed on my first ones than I was as I went around. So I want to even them out a little bit. There we go. All right, there it is. And now that I did that, do I want more green on the leaves? That might be the question too. Let's go put away this lighter yellow. That didn't work at all. And I see like the legs they look really cute. This whole thing, I think, looks pretty cute. I'm pretty pleased with this. Pretty pleased. Where did I go with the yellows? I guess I go in with orange. This one could go away. There we go. Now that I'm doing all the coloring in, I might do some olive. Do some olive. What do you guys think? Olive, yes? Ooh, all love the color in. This one looks very white out here. Some of them, I think that was the one I was trying to get it off. Some of them got kind of cakey. Some of them are a little more white, but flowers aren't perfect, right? That one looks like it's smeared. All right. Our little bee. Let's get this washed off a little bit. And this brush is kind of working nice for this. I'm going to try this on the olive, on the leaves a little bit. Maybe pray for me. Hi, T. Tina, good to see you. So thank you so much for joining. Make sure you say hello. Help me out. Doing some fill in here. Just using a brush to kind of I like the starkness of the etched as, you know, like if it's just a solid color, like the whole thing. But I think I have a little bit of a propensity to like add in like a kind of a watercolor look. To it when it's color. I don't know why. It's just, I think it's just my eyes. So you could do it however you want. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't do it. Right? Do what you think is best. I'd love to see it. If you guys do your own version of this, I would love to see it. Is that a whole thing? I think this whole thing is I can't tell. It kind of goes off, so I'm not really certain. Let's get a little bit more of this big leaf. There. I actually think that kind of brightened it up. All right. I am going to leave it be. Can you believe that? Ha ha ha. All right. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I'm so excited. These are the etched sunflower. And then this was, what did I say that was? Peaceful Garden, that one's called. It's got the bee on it. And you could use the pansies or that's on that etched bee. You wouldn't have to get the sunflower. But if you like sunflowers, I think it's awfully cute, don't you? Love it. So we got another item for our tiered trays. I'm trying to put together for a bridal shower 10 tiered trays, if you can believe that. It's kind of crazy, I know, but it's going to be worth it. I just put these browns in here. I don't know if I have any rhyme or reason to our colors anymore, but thank you so much for joining me. Make sure if you would like the information for the project, for tonight's project, other than the thrifted item, obviously you could do this anywhere you want. You could do the whole sunflower. But if you would like the supplies to make this project, go ahead and, go ahead and just put B, because it was a B project. And I will go ahead and get you the link to go shopping for that. You can add or subtract whatever you like into that cart. But I will put those things that both of the flowers, the sunflower and the peaceful garden, into there for you, as well as some of the colors to go with it. But you can add or subtract, put your own colors in, whatever chalk paste you want. And of course, put it on whatever you find inspiration to put it on. I love finding thrifted items and being inspired to put them on. So thanks so much for joining me this evening, and keep on crafting and be very blessed.